joint Russian-Chinese military exercises or naval exercises. Now, let's see if the phone is okay between Beijing and Bangkok. Hopefully it is, and we can speak to our correspondent Tony Chang, who joins us from the Thai capital. Welcome, Tony, again. We were asking before about Prayuth Chan-o-cha, who's now serving as both the Army Chief and the Acting Prime Minister of Thailand, with these fast-moving developments there where you are. What's been the reaction today?
Well, from what we've seen on the ground, we just spoke to a few people who are out and about in central Bangkok. People are, I think they're biding their time. Some people are quite confident that the army has taken the right move, that they've dispersed both groups of protesters and they're now restoring peace and order. Others said to us they were glad that those protesters had been dispersed, but they wanted to see elections. We've seen General Prayuth say that restoring order is the priority for this new coup government, that they will do immediately. They've certainly taken actions to do so. More people being called to present themselves in front of the army today, not just those active in the protests, but politicians, members of the army who are seen to be sympathetic to the Shinawatra family and to the opposition. So I think there's clearly moves to try and suppress any opposition to the coup. Whether the generals have in their minds that they're going to take us to an election is quite another thing. I think we've seen them conduct a coup in 2006. It was a disaster. There's no reason to think anything different has changed. I think people will be pleased to see the turmoil of the last 7 months ended, but we're very quickly going to get to a stage where I think a lot of people are going to get very frustrated about a lack of proper governance and a lack of elections.
Well, there's another interesting development in all of this, isn't there, Tony? Because we had news earlier today, for those who might not have heard, that the military actually summoned members of the Shinawatra family to a meeting this morning. Of course, Yingluck Shinawatra was Prime Minister in the caretaker government, and her brother in a previous era. Why has this meeting been called with, to use that quote, the Shinawatra family? What's likely to come next from that?
I think a meeting is a rather generous description. Those people have been summoned to appear in front of the military. And I think what the military wants to do is to make sure that anyone who is a threat to them at this stage is accounted for and is under control. A much larger list actually went out about an hour ago. All television stations remain blocked off apart from when they're giving announcements from the army. We saw the army come on, the army spokesman, and read out a long list of names. And as I just said, those are not just